Hold on, we'll talk about it.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Judge Carter. If I could please have the state and the defense place their appearances on the record, please.
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Jay Thompson on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Derek Dent.
Mr. Dent, you are here in case number 20MM9028. You were arrested for loitering or prowling. There is probable cause. Ms. Bush, do you have an offer for Mr. Dent?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Dent, you are not to return to the scene. You are not to have any contact with any of the witnesses. Your bond is $500, sir. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond case. Thank you.
Excuse me. Can you repeat that last part?
Excuse me?
Can you repeat that last part?
I'm not going to revoke your bond.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So all I have to do is pay that?
That's right. I don't know what you have to pay.
Your Honor, Mr. Hamlet, his behavior.
All right, I'm going to find a waiver of his appearance based upon his inability to come to court due to his behavior. 20MM9030. He was arrested for trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent him. He's not to return to the Lynx bus station. His bond is $500. Good morning. Are you Mr. Walker?
Stanley J. Walker. Yes, that's me.
All right, sir, you're here in 20MM9014. You were arrested for trespassing and 2 counts of resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause.
No, there isn't. There never was.
All right, sir.
Innocent, not guilty every time I get arrested. But something must be wrong with my mind because I'm a criminal, but I'm always a psychiatric
right, so Mr. Walker-
patient, and then now I'm a bum without a dime. Now, all of these are lies. And ultimately, I'm homosexual. Now, come on, somebody is lying like hell the minute I was conceived
Okay.
in the womb. You're lying like
Mr.
hell.
Walker, I hear you. I understand. So I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir.
No, I want to represent myself because I don't want no more of Tara Collins or Rosemary Vitale. I want to represent
So,
myself.
Mr. Walker, okay, that's fine. You can talk about that when you get to the courthouse downtown. How are you going to make sure you get to court? Do you know where the courthouse is
No,
downtown?
I don't have a car. I'm not going to walk either. But if that's an actual courtroom, why can't I go there with all the other
So
defendants?
here's your 2 choices, Mr. Walker. You can either enter a plea to this case today and have the case be over and not contest the charges, or you have to promise me you're going to go to court downtown. Which do you want to do?
So I'm tired of Sue Simmons covering up her bullshit. Sue Simmons at NBC Universal New York and everything else in the world. That's of darkness and hate and wretched putridness. That's Sue Simmons. Or not get handled, manhandled, right? While I walk in the
So,
NBC.
Mr. Thompson, Mr. Walker, did you hear what I said? Did you hear what your choices were today? I want you to be able to go home, but you got to.
I have no home. Sue Simmons, more
Do you wanna
of
stay-
that shit, right?
Do you-
Sue Simmons.
Mr. Thompson, you're not going to talk to him or try to help him?
He said that he didn't want he wanted to represent himself, Your Honor.
Your Honor, did the court at this juncture,
Innocent,
based on
not
his
guilty.
behavior, appoint the public defender for him, Your Honor?
All right, Mr. Walker, I'm gonna release you today on your own recognizance. You're gonna get a court date when they release you from the jail. You're gonna need
I
to
don't
make sure
even know
you're
where
there.
I am. I don't even know where I am. I have no winter clothes. I have no money. My Social Security's been cut off. More Sue Simmons and Barack
well then, Mr. Walker, based
Barack
upon-
Obama. Now Joe Biden, 4 more years of this insanity. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I gotta keep going through the living through this.
All right, Mr. Walker, I'm gonna set bond on count 1 at 500. You'll be ROR'd on counts 2 and 3. Don't go back to the link station. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, can he be screened for mental health pre-trial release?
But you were,
Oh, no problem, just asking.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Susan Torpy?
Yes, Ms. Torpy, you are here in 20 CF 15052. You were arrested for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You can go back one time with the police to get your things if needed. And you're not to possess any weapons or firearms, ma'am. I'm gonna set your bond at $500 or pretrial release if you are to qualify. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, your name?
Julius Busky.
Mr. Busky, sir, you are here for an out-of-county warrant out of Lake County. It's a violation of probation. It's alleged that you went to Alabama. Your bond, sir, is set at none. Lake County is going to come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get to first appearance. You also do have reporting requirements when you're released from the jail.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sophia. Good morning, your name?
Matt Rawson.
Mr. Austin, you are here for an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County. The bond, sir, is set at none. It's related to written threats to kill and aggravated stalking. The bond is set at none. Osceola County will come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get to first appearance there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This isn't over the Wild West. See, they'll stamp it. Inside the county it comes from. And so, like, good morning, your name?
My name is Swedish.
Pardon me?
Swedish Jones, I guess. I guess it's under Swedish Jones.
Are you Arnold Sweeney?
Yeah, that's Arnold Sweeney. That's me.
Sir, you are here for an over-the-line arrest out of Osceola County, Florida, so this will actually be an Osceola County case. You will return to court there.
Oh, that ain't me.
Well,
My
I'm
name-
not, sir, listen. If you can't just listen to what I have to say to you, I'm just gonna have you step outside. Do you wanna listen to what I have to say or
Go
not?
ahead and say it.
Yes?
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say what you have to say.
Mr. Sweeney, I'm trying to explain to you why you're here and what's gonna happen. Are you interested in that conversation or not?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So as I was saying to you, this actually is an Osceola County case. So when you return to court, you're gonna have an Osceola County public defender and you're gonna go to the Osceola County courthouse. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay. You were arrested for 2 counts of battery, petty theft, and robbery. There is probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the Gary Smoke Shop. You're not to have any contact with the witnesses or the victims. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond on count 1 is 100. Your bond on count 2 is 100. Your bond on count 3 is 100. Your bond on count 4 is going to be $2,500, sir. Thank you.
I got a bond.
You have a bond. Thank you.
So what that mean?
Thank you. Here, if you can see that line. Yeah, you'll hear me. Oh, is this a Spanish case? Are we on Spanish?
Spanish, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Pardon me? That is the lawyer to appear by phone? Is it Mr. Pius that's appearing?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Laura Bretaña, Spanish interpreter. The interpreter has already been sworn.
Great, thank you so much. Just waiting to put the attorney on the line.
Sí.
There is contact, Your Honor.
Great, thank you so much. No? It's Carlos Pius, right? You got him? All right. All right. Good morning. This is Judge Carter. Who am I speaking with?
Carlos Pius. Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Pius. I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for
All right.
asking.
I've got your client here. He's hooked up to the headset, and I have the Spanish interpreter also on the line.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. I really appreciate you allowing me to appear telephonically. And I'm sorry I stepped away to use the restroom when you called. Of
Sure,
course.
no problem. We're here in case number 20 CT 7952. Sir, you were arrested for driving without a valid driver's license. There is probable cause. Mr. Pius, were you wanting to be heard on the issue of bond?
Well, Your Honor, with regard to the no valid, I think it was previously set at 500, which of course we're okay with. He has retained me on another case, a DUI and a no valid, which I've already reached out to the state attorney on that case, and they have no objection to a bond. I filed my motions with Judge Cameron, and I'm waiting for that to be granted. The reason why I wanted to appear is just to make sure that there's no hiccup, given the fact that we have the holidays coming up here starting tomorrow, in essence. So my understanding, he has 3 holds, probably 2 of which are the cases in which I currently represent. I'm going to represent.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm losing counsel.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Pius, if you could just try to speak up as loudly as you can, please.
Sure, Your Honor. So what I'm asking is if Your Honor would be so kind as to put bonds on the, or reinstate the bond on case number 19 CT 73421 and 42. I anticipate that Judge Cameron is going to be doing the same, but just out of abundance of caution, I'd be asking that. And the reason why I'm asking, Your Honor, is that in those two cases, it's a DUI, but it's a case of identity, and it's a very good defensible case that we've been trying to go to trial. But because of COVID and no fault of my client, this case would have been already resolved. And that's why I'm asking that this court grant a bond in this particular case.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pius. Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard?
No, Your Honor. The state's not opposed to a revocation new bonds on the out-on bond.
Okay. So at this time, I'm going to stay the bond in CT 7952. Bond will be $500. Sir, you are not to drive without a valid driver's license. And I am not going to take any action on the out-on-bond cases, 19 CT 7341 or 19 CT 7342.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Pius?
No, Your Honor, do you know what the other hold might potentially be?
I can't hear you.
Aware? Do you know what the other hold might potentially be? I know there's 3 holds.
I don't. Mr. Gonzalez, I do need to inform you that you do have an immigration detainer.
Okay.
And you won't be released until that has been lifted.
Okay.
And Mr. Pius, I don't know. I don't have any control over that. I don't really have any other information about it either.
No, Your Honor, that was good. I was just, I assumed that's what it was, and I just wanted to confirm that. So thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you for allowing me to be heard. And if I don't speak with you, have a wonderful holiday season.
Sure, you too. Thank you.
Thanks. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Arturo Navarro. Arturo Navarro.
Bruno Navarro.
No, Arturo Navarro.
Oh, no, Arturo Navarro.
Yes.
Yes, sir. This is case number 20MM611. You were arrested for petty theft. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Ms. Bush, you have an offer for Mr. Navarro?
I do, Your Honor. It would be an adjudication of guilt, 7 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no contact with victim or witnesses, no return to the scene, which is the Save-A-Lot at 7th Street and Highland Avenue in Apopka, Florida. Abide by all trespass warnings. Restitution in the amount of $31.96 payable to the Save-A-Lot, and court costs.
Mr. Navarro, did you want to accept the state's offer?
¿Cuánto tiempo?
How much time?
It's 7 days. Do you want to talk to him, Mr. Thompson? Your office is appointed to represent him.
No, acepto la oferta.
No, I accept the offer.
The offer is 7 days in jail. You have credit for 2. You can't return to the Save-A-Lot. You have to abide by the trespass warning, and there's restitution of $31.96.
Sí, está bien.
Yes, it's fine.
All right, sir. Did you read the plea form before court this morning?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
Tengo una pregunta.
I have a question.
Esos $31, ¿cómo los voy a pagar?
How will I pay those $31?
You will pay them through the clerk of the court. You're going to have to pay those, including court costs. Okay?
Okay, está bien.
Mr. Navarro, do you have
Okay, it's fine.
do you have any questions about any of the rights on the plea form?
No tengo ninguna duda.
No, I don't have any questions.
All right, sir. Are you on probation?
No.
No.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Sí entiendo, pero yo soy ciudadano.
Yes, I understand, but I am a citizen.
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
No.
I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 7 days in jail. You've got credit for 2 days' time served. You're not to return to the scene or have any contact with the witnesses. You're to abide by the trespass warning. You'll need to pay court costs, including $31.96 in restitution to the Save-A-Lot. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
And surrender passport.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Omar Calderón Hernández.
Omar Calderón Hernández.
Sir, you were arrested in 20 CF 9347 pursuant to a warrant for sexual battery with a child in a familial or custodial relationship and lewd or lascivious molestation. I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
Your Honor, the state will not be moved forward with the proof evidence presumption great argument, and we stipulated to a bond in the amount of $100,000 for count 1 and $25,000 for count 2.
Is that correct, Ms. Bush?
Yes, Your Honor, and since this is a familial, there should be a no contact order generated.
And to surrender the passport if he has one.
Mr. Calderon, do you have a passport, sir?
No.
No.
All right, I will set bond on count 1 in the amount of $100,000 and $25,000 as to count 2. Sir, you are not to have any contact with the victim or any witnesses in this case. You are not to have any contact with any children under the age of 18. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms, and you are not to leave the state of Florida. Do you have any questions about the conditions upon which I've imposed?
No.
No.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, is he signing the no contact order?
Does he have one? Good morning, sir. Your name?
Jose Perez.
Jose Perez.
This is 20 CF 14941. Sir, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant for burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery with a weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and criminal mischief. I will appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Mr. Thompson?
Have a moment, Your Honor.
Sure. No, you can delete those two requirements. Yep. Right. No.
Can you hear me now? Your Honor, the interpreter can't hear me, but the defense won't be holding the state to their burden. We reserve the right for the Arthur hearing downtown.
Mr. Perez, at this time, your attorney has waived your right to make the state of Florida present evidence that there is proof evident or presumption great. He's preserved your right to have a bond hearing in front of the trial judge as to that issue. So at this time, your bond on count 1 will remain at none. Your lawyer will file a bond motion in Division 16. Bond on count 1 is set at none. Bond on count 2, $5,000. Bond on count 3, $100. You're not to return to the scene, have any contact with the victim or witnesses, or possess any weapons or firearms, sir. You also have an immigration hold that I need to inform you of. Thank you. Yeah, it does not apply. Thank you. Will you file this with that last case too? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Is that the end of the Spanish docket? Yes, Your Honor. All right, thank you, Madam Interpreter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a great day. She's on? Oh.
Okay.
Right. Oh. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Frankie Luke.
Mr. Luke, sir, you were here in 20 CF 14926. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for aggravated assault with a firearm and battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with the police to get your things if needed. Sir, if you have any weapons or firearms, those will need to be surrendered to the police department within 6 hours of your release. You'll call the non-emergency number for the department in your jurisdiction, and they'll explain to you how you go about doing that. Okay? Bond on count 1 is going to be $2,500. Bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you. So we'll just have a separate affidavit. I'll show you what it looks like, where it just says violation. Yes.
Good morning. This is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line. already sworn in today.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to connect with the sign language interpreter. I think I hit the wrong button.
Okay, sorry, Sharon.
That's okay, thank you. You do video conference?
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now.
Fantastic. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you see me? Or
No,
can you see Mr.
But
Thompson?
I can see Mr. Thompson. Yes, I can see him.
Excellent. Good morning, Mr. Thompson.
Good morning. Can you ask him to move over just a little bit?
Sure.
So there's a way, yeah, a little bit more. There's no reason that I have a monitor with my picture right in his way.
Okay. Oh, that's the TV.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, no, now you put, oh, I see it. Just move the
I
whole,
don't need to see her. There we go.
now you can move him back a little bit. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Thompson, you have two cases this morning. You've got 20 MM 8352, which is a trespass. You also have 20 MM 8459. Again, that is a trespass. And I believe that the state has an offer for you on both cases. Ms. Bush?
On 8352, the offer is an adjudication of guilt, 25 days Orange County Jail, 25 days credit time served, no contact with the victim or witness, no return to the scene, which is the 7-Eleven on North Summerlin Avenue in Orlando. Abide by all trespass warnings. Cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $30 and court costs. In 8459, it's an adjudication of guilt, 26 days Orange County Jail, 26 days credit time served, no contact with victim or witness, no return to the scene, the same 7-Eleven on North Summerlin, abide by the trespass warning, cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $92, and court costs.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson, did you want to accept those offers today?
Can you see me?
Mr. Thompson?
Yes. Yes, I accept on both of those. I'm not allowed to go into the store. I'm not permitted to go in. I'm not allowed to go there anymore. Yes.
That's right. Okay, sir. And you understand by entering into these pleas today that the cases will be over and you won't be able to dispute the charges?
Yes, that's right. I accept that.
Okay. You're not on
accept.
probation, are you?
No. Oh, yes, I am now on probation, yes.
You are?
I have a paper here.
Oh, I think that's the plea form, is it not? Okay.
No, I think he's saying that he's finished. He's finished with probation.
Okay. Do you see him?
He's not on probation.
Okay. Mr. Thompson, are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
All right, sir. I will accept your plea in each case, adjudicate you guilty. In 8352, sentence you to 25 days in jail with credit for 25 days time served. You are going to have to pay court costs to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $30. And in 8459, I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 26 days with credit for 26 days time served. You will have to pay court costs, including the cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $92. Those cases will run concurrent to one another. In each case, you're not to return to the 7-Eleven as we discussed. You're not to have any contact with the victim or witnesses. You need to abide by the trespass warning. And then, sir, you'll have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, your name?
Kiera Bryant.
Ms. Bryant, you were here in 20 MM 9021. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. The bond, ma'am, is $1,000. I'm revoking the bond in 20 MM 6262. That will be set at none. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Stephen Fletcher.
Mr. Fletcher, sir, you're here in 20 MM 9025. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You can go get your things with the police one time. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond is $500, sir. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Joseph Marsden.
Sir, you are here in 20 MM 9029. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You can return with the police one time to get your things if needed, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. I will place you on pretrial release at this time. Thank you.
What is that? I don't know what that means.
Good morning. Your name?
Matthew Mangiello.
Mr. Mangello, this is 20 MM 9032. You were arrested for violating a domestic injunction within 500 feet in violation of a domestic injunction. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to the scene. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to abide by the injunction in 20 DR 13066. Your bond on count 1 is 1,000. Your bond on count 2 is 500. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning. Your name?
Jonathan Velasquez.
Mr. Velasquez, this is 20 MM 9011. You were arrested for battery. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can return one time with the police to get your things if needed. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. I'm going to place you on pretrial release. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you call that number for me, please? Thank you. Are you Mr. Veldhuizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. I am calling your attorney at the moment. We'll get them on the line.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
My name is Alexandria
Right,
Veldhuizen.
ma'am, I'm going to have you come right up to the microphone. Thank you very much. And then you'll speak right into it. It's very difficult to hear in here. And tell me your name again.
My name is Alexandria Veldhuizen.
Thank you very much. Could you please raise your right hand to be sworn in?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. Hi, good morning. This is Judge Carter. Who am I speaking with?
This is Tom Murphy.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes, ma'am. Good
All
morning.
right, Mr. Murphy, I'm just going to need you to speak up. It's super hard here in the courtroom.
Okay.
All right, I do have your client present in the courtroom as well as a witness. This is 20MM8960. Mr. Veldhuizen was arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant. I do have his wife present in the courtroom. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Ma'am, do you want to have contact with your husband?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I know it's hard to speak. I just need you to keep your mask on for me. Are you afraid of him?
No, I am not afraid of him.
Do you have any concerns about your safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
None.
All right. Have there been any previous instances of violence between the two of you?
Never.
Okay. Ms. Bush, do you have any questions for the witness?
I'm sorry, were you speaking to me, Your Honor?
No, to the state.
Ma'am, if something like this incident were to happen again, and you felt that you were threatened, would you be comfortable calling law enforcement?
I would feel comfortable, but I see no, I don't think it would ever happen again. But I would feel comfortable calling law enforcement.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Mr. Murphy, do you have any questions for the witness?
Just a couple, Your Honor. Thank
Sure.
you. You filled out, ma'am, you did fill out a declination of prosecution with our office?
Yes. Yeah. Are you speaking to me?
He is, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I'm sorry, I am.
What is the form that you're speaking of? I'm sorry, could you repeat it?
Sure. It's basically a form that outlines your position on whether or not you wanted to prosecute with this case.
Yes, I filled out the form. I do not want to prosecute. I want to drop all charges.
All right.
Okay. Your Honor, I don't know if that's shown up in the system yet. I've got it in my hand, and I know we e-filed it this morning, the declination of prosecution from the victim. And that would really be all I would want to establish. Your Honor already established she wants to have contact, and she filed the declination. We would just, from there, have some argument, I think.
Okay. So, sir, I'm going to order that you're not to have any hostile contact with your wife. Do you understand what that means, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're also not to possess any weapons or firearms. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time. Anything else, Mr. Murphy?
No, that's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a great holiday.
All right, you too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You'll be released later today. Yeah. Thank you.
Sean Whitney is medical, Your Honor.
All right. That's, Mr. Thompson, I'll appoint your office representative if not previously appointed. Would you like to waive the appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's 20 CT 7183. He failed to appear for court on a driving while license suspended charge. The bond is $500. I always take, when I send the paperwork back, so I'll just take off the face sheet and then retrial it back into the I just do it short. Oh, I don't know. Thank you. It was arraignment. Oh, thank you for checking. Good morning. Your name?
Gerald Gay.
Mr. Blatz, sir, you are here in 20MM90.
This is Mr. Gay.
Who?
Traffic arraignment.
Oh, oops. Sorry, sir.
That's okay.
Oh, Gerald Gay, I'm sorry. You are here in 20 CT 1690. This is your arraignment for the offense of driving while license suspended. Ms. Bush, was there an offer for Mr. Gay?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 43 days Orange County Jail, 43 days credit time served, a $250 fine, don't drive without a valid driver's license, and court costs.
Mr. Gay, did you want to accept the offer, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I just have one question.
Sure.
There was also a possession of paraphernalia that was from the same case that I have no bond on because I failed to appear. Is there any way that we could tie that in and?
Give me 1 second, okay?
I did not see that. I'll look it up.
It looks, oh, Mr. Gay, I think that's 20 CF 14380. It's set for an in-jail arraignment on the 11th of January.
Your Honor, this matter came under 2020 CF 13191. And it's my understanding that 13191 resulted in the CT case that we have. But if I may have just a moment to make sure.
This is an add-on, 14380.
Now I have to go back to the other one as well. One three one nine one came in as a felony driving while license suspended. We filed a misdemeanor information, and that's what the court has before it today.
I'm sorry, Ms. Bush, can you say that again?
Under 2020 CF 13191AO, that came in as a felony driving while license suspended.
Okay.
We filed a misdemeanor information, which was given the case number 2020 CT 1690
Okay.
AW.
Right.
And 13191, that was the only charge that came in under that case number.
So I'm looking back through this, and this is what I'm not clear about, is because it's an add-on charge. He comes to initial appearance. Bond was set at $100. By me. So he should have a bond on that case, correct? On 14380?
Your Honor, the
14380.
Right.
That's a felony. Yeah, at $100. That's the possession of meth charge.
Right. I don't see a paraphernalia charge, Mr. Gay.
He's talking about.
Your Honor, this is the history of the charges.
Okay.
Under, give me just one moment, I just, At least as far as I can track here. Is the court saying that 13191 came in as an add-on?
No. No.
Because there is a separate case, which is 2020 CF 14380.
Right, that's what I'm talking about, Ms. Bush.
Which a possession of drug paraphernalia, a driving while license suspended, and a DUI were consolidated into 2020 CF 14380. But it is not this driving while license suspended.
Got it.
As far as I can tell, this is a separate incident.
Yes. He was just asking me about another case that he wanted to resolve that he indicated was a paraphernalia. So I was trying to see if there was a case that could potentially be resolved. But when I'm looking at it, sir, you can't resolve it because it's a felony matter and we can't take a plea on a felony here at the jail. So you'll have to post the bond on that particular case.
So I do have a bond then?
You do, it's $100.
On,
Oh, okay, that's fine.
in the system in IMS, it's showing it as a separate case with a no bond.
It should not be, and I do not know why the officer wrote that. The 14380 should not be a no bond because the officer wrote in the complaint when he was arrested, and I don't know where this is coming from, but he wrote that at the very bottom, he wrote, no bond, the defendant failed to appear. I don't know for what, I don't know why. So when he came to initial appearance, he was given a bond in that case.
Yeah, it's 2020 MM 7624. It was a possession of drug paraphernalia and it was revoked.
7624?
Yes. AO. That's the one he's talking about, and it has a no bond.
And that case has been transferred into the felony case, so that should be erased, right? Because this case no longer, 20 MM 7624 doesn't exist anymore because it's been consolidated into 20 CF 14380.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it's showing.
Okay, so how does that get released? Because the case is,
It was-
case is closed.
It was set on the court order that way. It was revoked and it came in at a no bond. So they put that charge back in as a no bond due to the court order that they received.
I understand. I want to fix
But
that though.
It has now been closed because it was consolidated. Yes, Your Honor.
Right, but they're not showing that it is closed. So he's being held no bond on that case when it's been consolidated into another case.
Yeah,
that
we
he has
don't-
a bond on.
We don't have it consolidated. They're all still separate.
So how do you consolidate it? Are you guys following me?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he was IA after the fact with the $100 bond. Yeah. So they should have already had this.
But this, on the 14th, this case was done because on the 14th, the state made a request for an administrative transfer.
So, but you know, right? Yeah. And then he was IA after the fact.
So that case should be gone. Well, he wasn't no. He was not IA'd on the case that he was transferred to. On the 14380, he was IA'd back on the 4th of December. With this.
Well, it's up to the state. If the state found information on it, you would give them another bond amount. They found the information on the new case. And you would give a bond amount on it, so it would go back to it. And it was transferred. If they would give them a bond amount on the information. Yes, sir.
The 20 MM 7624 doesn't exist anymore.
So when they transfer, I mean, it's done. They're going to shows the bond. So when the state filed on the felony case, teachers still had a bond. They who didn't say bond amount. Yeah, see, so this bond is a relation. You got a lot of the information sheet. It says, the bond shall remain the same as the last set in case number 20 CF 14380, 20 CF EM 764, 20 CT 6551, and 20 CT 6552. And it says on the bottom of the information sheet that is transferred to the new case, that the bond shall remain as is last set. So that, you're right, that bond should remain. And still on the last one, see, tell them the last, the case that was consolidated on the information sheet that was there on last page 3. So I'm seeing the road line. Yeah. So you're right, that bond should remain. Yeah, so it's not, so every $100 was $100.
So, Mr. Gay, you need to have your lawyer file a motion in that case because when the state attorney filed the information in taking that paraphernalia charge and encompassing it into the possession of methamphetamine, driving while license suspended or revoked, and the DUI, they carried all your bonds from all of those cases to that case. So although in the original case, that felony case number, you had a bond, whatever the bonds were on the cases that came into the felony case stayed the same. So there's still a no bond as to that specific count. Does that make sense?
Yes, Your Honor. Now, I went to court on December 10th to Judge Jewell, and the state offered me diversion for the paraphernalia. I took the diversion, but the charge never fell off, so that was supposed to open the bond up. I don't know what happened.
Right, so when I looked,
I watched the video in the courtroom.
I don't have an answer for that question. I don't see it reflected in the court minutes. I just see that they, when it was set for an arraignment in front of Judge Baines, it indicated that the clerk was to reset the arraignment for 3 weeks so the state could make a charging decision, which they did, and they elected to file it with the felony case. So as I stated, you'll have to have your lawyer file a bond motion in that case with respect to that count.
Okay.
Okay? For today, though, did you want to take the plea on that other driving while license suspended case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you read the plea form?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, Your Honor.
Are you on probation?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will result in your deportation?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you're not
yes,
a U.S.
yes,
citizen?
yes, ma'am. I'm
You do?
sorry.
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
I'm sorry?
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 43 days in jail. You've got credit for 43 days time served. You'll have to pay a $250 fine included in your court costs. You are not to drive without a valid driver's license. Your court costs and your fine will be due by December 22nd of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Grady?
Roger Grady.
He refused court.
All right, I'll find a waiver of his appearance based upon his refusal to come to court in 20 CT 7491. His next court date is going to be, he's Division 85. His pretrial conference date will be February 8th at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. courtroom 4A. Javier Lugo.
Your Honor, I didn't show him as being in Orange County Jail.
Oh, okay.
Lanning refused court, Your Honor.
All right, just give me 1 second. Can you just check for me 2002, Ms. Davis, 7475?
He bonded, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Bush. Mr. Blanding refused?
Yes.
I'll find a waiver of his appearance in 20 MM 8214. Ms. Bush, was he served?
I did not write it down, but I believe so.
Okay.
Let me just double check that,
Sure.
Your Honor.
I see it, Ms. Bush.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
It looks like on the 17th.
Yes, that's correct. So, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Blanding. And his next court date is in Division 50, pretrial conference, February 8th at 2 p.m. Are you Mr. Rivera? Mr. Rivera, this is 17 MM 11247. This is your arraignment for the offense of assault, domestic violence. Did you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
No, I think I just, there was two consecutive cases that were dropped, and I never did any of this stuff. This is not, I haven't done anything wrong, and I've been paying a price for this stuff, and,
So, Ms. Rivera, I need you, one, to put your mask up for me, please.
I'm sorry.
Thank you very
I'm sorry.
much.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
So, Ms. Rivera, I understand that you want to contest the charges, and that's fine. I'm going to give you a court date, but do you want a lawyer to help you with the case? It's not going to go away on its own.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your next court date's going to be in Division 50 on February 8th of 2021 at 2 p.m. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
We're in misdemeanor. Oh, I'll do those then. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Can we skip Mr. Black's for a moment?
Sure. Are you Mr. Harmon?
Yes.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Mr. Harmon, sir, you are here in 20 MM 9010. You were arrested for resisting officer without violence and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. Ms. Bush, you have an offer for Mr. Harmon.
Your Honor, may I have just a moment to switch over to the misdemeanor?
Sure.
Your Honor, the state does not have an offer.
All right. Mr. Harmon, I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any conditions, Your Honor?
No.
Thank you.
Yes. Christina Vasquez, did she bond? 200278888.
Yes, she bonded.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
G-Rod.
What is it?
G-Rod Matthew Baltz.
Oh, thank you. Sir, you were here in 20 9015. You were arrested for trespassing. There is probable cause. Ms. Bush, do you have a offer for Mr. Blatz?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt. 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no return to Lake Eola Park in Orlando, Florida, no contact with witnesses, abide by all trespass warnings and court costs.
All right. Sir, did you want to accept the offer?
What day will that?
You'll get out tomorrow.
That's fine.
All right, sir. Did you read the plea form?
No.
So, Mr. Blatz, let me just tell you, if you want to take the plea today, the case is going to be over. You're not going to be able to contest the state's witness or the state's evidence or put any of your own defenses or any evidence on your own behalf. Do you understand that?
I comprehend.
So if you take the plea, the case is over. You can't contest it. You can't say I didn't do it.
What time do I get out tomorrow?
I'm not sure. Probably in the afternoon.
That sounds fine with me.
Okay. Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Yeah, I am a U.S. citizen.
Okay, sir. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No. The other issue is I should have been bonded out already.
Okay.
Somebody had bonded me out. Can anybody check that before I?
Plea? Yeah.
Yes.
Ms. Davis, do you see if a bond's been posted for him? Mr. Let's, I just make sure you keep that up for me, okay?
No.
No, no one's posted your bond.
Does-
Mr. Blatz, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in jail. You've got credit for 2. You can't go back to Lake Eola Park. You can't have any contact with any of the witnesses, and you'll have to pay court costs, which are going to be due by December 22nd of 2021. You'll also need to abide by the trespass warning, and you have 30 days to appeal, sir. Thank you.
And you said tomorrow.
right.
Tomorrow in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
No.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, how you doing?
Are you Mr. Hill?
Yeah, Mr. Hill, yes.
Mr. Hill, this is 20 4226. You were here because you failed to appear for court on a drug paraphernalia charge.
Yeah.
Ms. Bush, did you have an offer for Mr. Hill?
Yes, Your Honor. It's going to be an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and court costs, and if I may have a moment to make sure that there aren't any other.
All right. Mr. Hill, did you want to accept that offer from the state? Did you want to accept the time served offer from the state?
Yeah, I accept that, of course.
Okay, she's just
Oh, yeah.
checking about the
That's-
court costs, so just
yeah,
be a
that's-
second.
Okay. Oh, wait, you see, she got me a few questions. Okay. I'm gonna be polite.
There is a cost of investigation, Your Honor.
Okay.
To the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $141.42.
All right. Mr. Hill, did you read the plea form, sir?
Excuse me,
Did you read the plea form before court?
plea form?
Yeah.
No, they read it to me.
Oh, they did. Okay. Did you have
Yeah.
any questions about any of the rights on the form?
No, I'm
You're good?
I'm good.
Okay. Are you on probation?
No, not on probation for nothing.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Right.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
All right,
No.
sir.
No.
I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty. How many days is Mr.?
Yes, 10 days, Your Honor.
Sentence you to 10 days in jail. You've got credit for 10 days time served. You're going to have to pay court costs, including the cost of investigation of $141.42 to the Orlando Police Department, sir. Those will be due by December 22nd of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal. Thank you.
Okay. I don't quite understand.
Have a nice day, sir.
Shit.
Y'all, any objection to the court reducing all court costs to a civil judgment?
I'm not going to do that, Mr. Thompson. Thank you. Good morning. Are you Mr. Palmer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you're here in 20 MO 1352. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. There's probable cause. Ms. Bush, do you have an offer for Mr. Palmer?
Yes, it's an adjudication of guilt, 2 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served and court costs.
Sir, did you want to accept that offer?
I guess, yes.
All right. Did you read the plea form before court?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about the rights? Are you on probation?
No.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
I'm a citizen.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No. I wish.
Oh, okay, Mr. Palmer. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you
I'm
guilty,
intense.
sentence you to 2 days in jail. You've got credit for 2 days' time served. You're going to have to pay court costs. Those are going to be due by December 22nd of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal, sir. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Richard Scarborough.
Mr. Scarborough, you're here in 20 MO 1353. You were arrested for open container. There is probable cause. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Scarborough?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 2 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served and court costs.
Did you want to accept the offer, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read the plea form before court?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions about the rights?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Do you understand what?
If you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation.
Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm all
Okay.
right with that.
And are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail. You've got credit for 2 days' time served. You'll have to pay court costs, which will be due by December 22nd of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
you, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You Mr. Shields?
Yes.
All right, sir, you were arrested in 20 MO 1354 for disorderly conduct. There's probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Shields?
Yes, the offer is an adjudication of guilt, 2 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served and court costs.
Sir, did you want to accept that offer?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you read the plea form?
Yes, I read it.
Did you have any questions about any of the rights on the form?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail, and you've got credit for 2 days' time served. You are going to have to pay court costs, which will be due by December 22nd of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I do want all of these. Yeah, exactly. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Furman Arroyo.
Sir, you were arrested in 20 CF 15006 for 4 counts of possession of Olazapram, resisting officer without violence, sanitary nuisance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1, sir, is $1,000. You'll be ROR'd on counts 2, 3, and 4. Your bond on count 5 is $100. And then on count 6 and 7, your bond is also $100. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription.
Yes, but I only got 3 pills. Why I got 3 charges? They only one.
So I don't know what the state's gonna charge you with, but in the affidavit it says 4. I'm not saying what's true.
Yeah.
All right, I only gave you bond on 1 and I released you on the other ones. All right? Thank you.
So how much is the bond? Huh? When I go to court?
just don't understand. I just don't. Stephanie Barton.
She refused court, Your Honor.
All right, I'll find a waiver of her appearance based upon her refusal in 20 CF 15030. She was arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and petty theft. I will appoint the public defender to represent her. There's probable cause for all of the offenses. Bond on count 1 is 1,000. Bond on count 2 is 150. Bond on counts 3 and 4 is 100. She's not to return to Walmart, and she's not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. Good morning. Are you Mr. Green?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Green, sir, you are here because you failed to appear in 19 CF 8744. That was for a violation of probation status hearing. The bond is set at none. You will see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days in that case. And in 20 MM 9027, you were arrested for resisting officer without violence. I'll appoint the public defender, and your bond is $500.
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Ma'am?
Your name.
Oh, Mashawn Fitzgerald Harrington Jr.
Mr. Harrington, you're here in 20 CF 15041. You were arrested for possession of MDMA. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond's $1,000. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. You failed to appear in 20 MM 728 for plea and sentence. Your bond in that case, sir, is $2,000. Ms. Bush, were there any notes in that case as to what the plea and sentence was?
I'll check, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson, do you have any notes about that?
I'm looking for it right now.
The last notes that I see from October 24th was level 1 drug diversion.
Level 1 what?
Drug diversion program.
Drug diversion?
Yes, Your Honor. So that would have to be handled in the trial division.
Okay. All right, Mr. Harrington, we won't be able to take care of that case today. You'll have to bond out on that and then get with your public defender as to when your plea and sentence is going to be for the petty theft.
Your Honor, I have an adjudication of guilt, court cost, impulse control class, and a no return. I believe credit time served.
On possession of drug paraphernalia?
This is what happened.
This is a petty theft.
Then, Your Honor, I looked at the wrong, I put the wrong case number in.
2020 MM 728 AW.
I apparently put the wrong case number in, Your Honor. I apologize.
That's okay.
And Your Honor, what I see is an adjudication of guilt, court costs, impulse control class, and no return. However, and cost of investigation. However, there can't be impulse control without supervised probation. So it would still have to, this would still have to be
Okay,
handled downtown.
That's fine. Like I stated, Mr. Harrington, you'll have to get, oh, I'm gonna give him a pretrial date. I'm gonna give you a court date on that case, sir. Here, it's Division 81. Your pretrial conference is gonna be January 29th at 9 a.m. in courtroom 4E. And then I'm not gonna revoke your bond.
Okay, so on that case there, so my bond ain't gonna be revoked. So I just have to pay for this new case, the
You have to pay the
MDMA.
bond on the one you failed to appear on, which is $2,000, and then you have your new case where your bond is at $1,000, so your total bond is $3,000.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Manel Hugger.
Sir, you have 3 cases. I will appoint the public defender to represent you in all of them this morning. 20 CF 15012, you were arrested for attempted burglary of a conveyance. There's probable cause. Your bond is $1,000. In 20 CF 15013, you were arrested for attempted burglary of a conveyance. The bond is going to be $150. In 20 MM 9013, you were arrested for loitering or prowling. The bond, sir, is $100. In each of the cases, you are not to have any contact with any of the victims or witnesses, and you're not to return to the scene. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Christopher Irizarry.
Mr. Irizarry, you're here in 20 CF 14841. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation, for aggravated stalking after an injunction. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to abide by the injunction. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond's $2,500, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You too, sir. Oh, can we bring Mr. Irizarry back, please, Dexter? I'm sorry. Mr. Irizarry, there was one additional condition for your release. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription.
That's fine. I don't do any drugs or
All
anything.
right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Did Mr. Jackson bond?
Eric Hansel.
20027877?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Eric Hansel.
Yes, sir. You're here in 20 CF 15043. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and soliciting without a permit, as well as 20 CF 15055 for introducing contraband into a county facility and possession of cocaine. There's probable cause for all of the offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I am going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Amy Long refused, Your Honor.
All right, I'll find a waiver of her appearance based upon her refusal to come to court. 20 CF 15051, she was arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent her. She's not to have any contact with the victim. Her bond's $1,000. I have no idea why that was appropriate.
Why did she not come?
She refused. Mr. Martinez Marrero?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you are here, looks like you have 3 cases. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in each.
Thank you. If I may, I lost my spouse. I was just drinking a lot.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I lost my spouse. I was drinking a lot. I've lived in this community for 20 years. I have a job, a stable residence.
Mr. Moreno, just stop for a second, okay? Let me tell you why you're here, and then maybe I can address some of the things that you want to talk about, all right? So just give me a minute to explain to you why you're here, okay? So as I said, you've got 3 cases. I'm going to appoint the public defender to help you with each of them. The first one you have is 20 CF 15027. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for false reporting of a firearm and aggravated stalking. Bond on count 1 is $2,500. Bond on count 2 will be $150. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. In 20 MM 8952, you were arrested for intimidation and threat with death and serious bodily harm to a law enforcement officer, 2 counts. This was pursuant to a warrant. Again, you're not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Bond on count 1 is going to be,
I was just hoping for a bond reduction so I could return to work. I just got hired at IHOP.
right, so I did. So just, like I said, let me finish telling you.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I have ADHD real bad. I'm trying to follow along the best I can.
It's okay. Just bear with me, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
So your bond on count 1's going to be $1,500. Your bond on count 2 is going to be $100. Your final case is 20 CF 15037. You were arrested for battery on a firefighter or EMT and resisting officer with violence. There's probable cause for those offenses as well. Bond on count 1 is $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $150. Again, you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. So you have all of your bonds are set. Do you have any questions about your conditions?
I don't, what's the total on the, I don't,
Mr. Thompson, did you write those down for your client?
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so let me go over those again, sir, okay? So your bond on count 1 for your first case. Mr. Thompson, please write these down for your client.
So it'd be 1,000, 150.
Well, I'm ready.
It's $2,500 on count 1, 150 on count 2. The second case, it's $1,500 on count 1, 100 on count 2. The third case, it's $1,000 on count 1 and 100 on and 150 on count 2. If I misspoke before, I apologize. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Are you Mr. O'Neill?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. O'Neill, just 1 second. Mr. O'Neill, you are here in 20 CF 15047. You were arrested for possession of MDMA. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond's $1,000, sir. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I am going to have you randomly tested through pretrial release, and I'm not going to revoke your bond.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, they'll set it as appropriate, what he tells them he's been using, or has, if not, I don't know. Danielle Thomas?
She's hospital, Your Honor.
All right, I'll reset Ms. Thomas for tomorrow, or within 24 hours of her release from the hospital. Did Muriel Tuzan bond 20027882?
Can you repeat the last 4?
Sure. 7882.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You Miss West?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you were arrested in 20 CF 14390. This was pursuant to a warrant. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the scene or have any contact with the victim. You're also not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Marilyn Huertas Torres.
Yes, ma'am. You are here, you have 3 cases. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in all of them. You have 20 CF 6202. It's a violation of probation. It's alleged that you failed to report to probation as directed and that you moved without getting permission. The bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're gonna see Judge Whitehead. Actually, is it Judge Whitehead or is it gonna be Judge Lattimore? You're gonna see Judge Lattimore in the next 7 to 10 days on the violation of probation. And then you have 20 CF 6202, which is an on-view violation of probation based upon your arrest in 20 CF 15049, where you were arrested for possession of olazapam, possession of drug paraphernalia, and giving false information. There's probable cause for those offenses, ma'am, which will provide the basis of the on-view violation. Bond on count 1 is 1,000, bond on count 2, 100, bond on count 3, 100. The bond on the on-view violation of probation will be set at none. That'll be addressed when you see Judge Lattimore with the other violation of probation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Jacques Noel.
Mr. Noel, you are here in 19, well, let me see. Hold on. 19 CF 2616, sir, it's alleged that you have violated your probation by committing a new law offense of grand theft auto on December 19th of 2020 in Orlando, Florida. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. The bond is set at none, sir. You're going to see Judge Lattimore in the next 7 to 10 days.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, you're going to see the judge, Judge Lattimore, on your violation of probation in the next 7 to 10 days.
Okay, one question. So this VOP will not be in front of Judge Keith White?
It will, that's the trial judge, but first you will see Judge Lattimore, who does the jail arraignment.
Okay.
So Judge White, well, I don't know if it will be actually because everyone's rotating. So I don't know who took over Judge White's trial division.
As long as it's not Judge White.
Oh, all right, thank you, sir. Yes, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Ariel Scott.
Mr. Scott, sir, you were here in 2007 CF 10227. You failed to appear. No, this is a violation of probation, so this is a good example. Mr. Scott, it's alleged that you failed to appear by not following your curfew and you failed to participate in your sex offender treatment program. The bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're going to see Judge Lattimore in the next 7 to 10 days.
That's who?
Judge Lattimore. She's taking over for Judge Whitehead.
I had Judge Jordan last time.
That was your old trial judge. Judge Jordan's not in that division. You're going to see the jail judge first, and then you'll see whoever the new assigned trial judge is for the actual hearing.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Your Honor, he has reporting requirements.
Yes. Dexter, thank you. Sir, I forgot to tell you, you do have reporting requirements when you're released from the jail.
Reporting requirements to what?
To the sheriff's department.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Which I would want to. Good morning, your name?
Mikhail Whitmore.
Mr. Whitmore, this is 19 CF 16677. It's alleged, sir, that you have violated your probation and by being arrested in 20 CF 15040 for dealing in stolen property and loitering or prowling. There is probable cause, sir. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in both cases. Bond on count 1 is $2,500. Bond on count 2 is $100. You're not to return to the scene or have any contact with any of the victims. In the violation of probation case, your bond will be set at none, and you'll see Judge Lattimore in the next 7 to 10 days. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Dustin Brown.
Mr. Brown, you're here for an out-of-county warrant out of Lake County. It's a violation of probation. The bond, sir, is set at none. Lake County is going to come and get you, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
Okay.
All right.
They coming this week, or do I have to wait 30 days?
How long?
Are they coming this week, or do I have to wait 30 days?
I don't know how long it's going to
Okay.
take them, but I do know that Lake County is one of the counties that's transporting.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Alan Lewis.
Yes, Mr. Lewis, you're here for a warrant out of Palm Beach County related to a delinquent in possession of a firearm.
Yes,
Sir,
ma'am.
Your bond is set at none. I'm going to appoint the public defender here in Orange County to represent you. I don't know if Palm Beach County is going to come get you right now. So the public defender here in Orange County will be able to help you with your case. We will reach out to Palm Beach County to see if they'd like to make any modifications to your bond. And once we hear back from them, if you're still here, I'll bring you back to court and let you know what the outcome was.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Your Honor. My mother, she called the Palm Beach County Sheriff Office, and they said they never issued a warrant out for me. She called and they told her they never issued a warrant out for me. They don't know why they and I have court next month, January the 15th, and I went to court this month. I think it was December.
I don't know, Mr. Lewis. That's something you'll have to talk with the lawyers about. So they'll be able to maybe answer that question for you, but I will reach out to Palm Beach County to see if the judge would like to make any modifications to your warrant, sir.
Okay.
Okay?
So I won't have any bond today?
Not today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Martin refused, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to find a waiver of his appearance based upon his refusal to come to court. He has an out-of-county warrant out of Volusia County. The bond is set at none. That was the 7695. 8044, the bond is 7500. 8043, the bond is 5000. 615, the bond is 3000. 616, the bond is 3,000. 650, the bond is 3,000. 719, the bond is 3,000 on count 1 and 3,000 on count 2. 720, the bond is 3,000. 724, the bond is 3,000 on count 1 and 3,000 on count 2. And 742, the bond is 3,000. I will appoint a public defender to represent him, yes, because some of those counties are not coming to pick him up. All right, and then, Ms. Bridget, it looks like we just have the 33-day motions.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is just mine. Okay.
party goes. I'm sorry to say. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll do it. I'm sorry.
Yep. So all these, you guys can change yours obviously, but these are things that just come up all the time. So like that's obviously kind of that statute number, like for lesser included, just because the first one. Here, but it's also, I can't remember the bond thing. What's the fresh pursuits? This is where I'm on the Section D is the Wisman Act.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's ready.
And then that's, I'm assuming you're not having any. Oh, thank you, Ms. Bush. 20 CF 13736, Frankie Beck Jr.
And information was filed on December 21st. Filing ID is 118573627.
That'll be denied. 20 CF 13875, Felix Butler.
A notice of non-filing on December 21st.
That'll be granted. 20 CF 11036, Wilberson Charles.
A notice of non-filing on December 21st.
That'll be granted. 20 CF 13460, Zara Dow.
And information was filed on December 21st. Filing ID is 118568583.
That'll be denied. 20 CF 13929, Sarah Doyle.
A notice of non-filing on December 18th.
That'll be granted. 20 CF 13805, Dexter Drakes.
And information was filed on December 21st. Filing ID is 118573452.
That'll be denied. 20 CF 13837, Harvey Dudley.
And information was filed on December 22nd. Filing ID is 118590256.
That'll be denied. 20 CF 13885, Antonio Lemon.
A notice of non-filing on December 18th.
That'll be granted. 20 CF 13887, Antonio Lemon.
A notice of non-filing on December 18th.
And that'll be granted. 20 CF 13548, Michael Reyes.
And information was filed on December 21st. Filing ID is 118575633.
That'll be denied. 20 CF 13860, Priscilla Vanderbrook.
A notice of non-filing on December 21st.
And 20 CF 9524, Pharrell Hale.
And information was filed on December 21st. Filing ID is 118573133.
All right, that'll be denied. And then anything else from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Made a state approach with the restitution order from this morning,
Sure.
earlier this morning.
Thank you, I'll take it, Mr. Thank you. All right, court will be in recess.